Man, I hope YouTube doesn't get mad at me over this. Yes, sensitive YouTube subject coming up. And what I want to talk about that YouTube doesn't like a whole lot of talk about are firearms, okay? Specifically, what I want to talk about firearms is carrying firearms in a commercial motor vehicle. Now, there's lots of things to consider, and it's really complicated if you're going to really consider all that there is before you make the decision to carry a firearm in a commercial motor vehicle. Now, federally speaking, from what I've found out, all the research I've done, there's no federal regulation prohibiting you from carrying a firearm in a commercial motor vehicle. It's just not. They don't say one way or the other. So the next thing you should have to consider, state laws, right? State laws, local city ordinances, county ordinances, all those things should be considered when you're thinking about carrying your firearm in a commercial vehicle. Another thing you need to consider, are you OTR? Do you go to Canada? Because you cannot take a firearm into Canada. That's a big no-no. You may end up in Canada for a really long time if you do that. Now, OTR company I worked for in the late 80s, early 90s, we went to Canada a lot. So at the Detroit area terminal that we had, they had lock boxes in the terminal where you can stow your firearm if you knew you were going up into Canada to pick up or deliver, right? And your only concern there was, after I deliver or pick up, am I coming out the same port of entry so I can get my firearm back? Because you may go in at Detroit and do something and end up going out Buffalo, New York. So you're gonna have to get yourself back to the Detroit area to get your firearm. But they had that service. I don't know if they still do or not. Don't know. But you also have to consider, and I know a lot of guys don't consider this, you need to consider what your company policy is. Okay, owner-operators, I know, you're the company. You make those decisions. Mega carriers, LTL carriers, companies, they make policy, and I'm pretty sure our policy is no firearms in the trucks. You have to consider whether you're going to follow that or not. Some guys say, I'm not going to follow that. If I need to protect myself, I'm going to protect myself. But then you also need to weigh in the risk-reward equation in there. If something happens, I have to defend myself, or I get caught with the firearm in my truck, is it worth losing my job? Because you probably will. You break it down into state laws and local laws. What you have to consider also is the laws for conceal and carry. They're different in different states, okay? Where you can carry concealed, where you can't carry concealed. The transporting a firearm from state to state to state is different. Some of them you gotta lock them up, put them in the trunk, or a separate area separated from the ammo. Some states have reciprocity laws that will recognize your concealed carry. So you can carry it however you can carry it in your state, you can carry in that state. But it's all gonna come down to how you get caught, right? If you're OTR, you're going through a state that doesn't want you to have firearms at all, and it's really complicated on how to transport it. You get inspected and they find it in a way that they don't like, you're gonna be in trouble. So you have to consider all of these things when you're talking about carrying a firearm in a commercial motor vehicle. I'm not gonna ask you, are you carrying your firearm in your CMB? I don't wanna know, none of my business, no one's business if I do or not. But I will ask you to comment on the philosophical reasoning for or against, whichever way. Play devil's advocate, come up with opinions opposite of what yours might be, let me know what all those are. And we'll see you later.